Alright guys, we made it. Hey y'all, welcome back. Thank y'all for tuning back in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this thing and go ahead and tell y'all that I am terribly sorry. Sometimes life just gets in the way and plans don't work out as you would hope they did. And this week did not work out like I hoped. There's just been one thing after another has just got in my way. And I promised y'all that I was gonna start a project, and I have not been able to and probably will not be able to. So that'll probably have to be next week's video. So y'all definitely stay tuned for that. But for right now, we're headed to the feed store. We got to go get some feed. We're slap out and we need 2 gates to hang. So we're gonna get back. I'm gonna hang some gates, let y'all watch that. And who knows what else, but it's gonna be fun, hopefully be entertaining. And I hope y'all stick around and enjoy your time. Does anybody else feel like every time they leave the house, they gotta stop and get fuel? Because I do. And with the way fuel is priced, it's never like $15 or $20. It's always $75, $100, $125, just whenever the pump may shut off. I mean, it'll plumb break you. Well, we made it home, y'all, and we got our gates unloaded. There's one, there's the other. Now, we just got to find some blocks to put under them and get these things hung, see what they look like. We got it tied up here. We got it set on blocks where it's off the ground. Now let's check the level on it. And it's pretty bad off. It shows that this end right here needs to come up. So let's put another block under here until we get it level. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and added one more block underneath both sides. I wanted this corner right here to be just a little bit higher, so it's about where I want it. So I'm gonna take a pencil and make a mark where each of these holes need to be drilled for these hinges. And as you may would know, our lines fell out right where this net wire's wrapped. So let me see. We're gonna go up a little bit on this one, and we'll go probably down a little bit on this one. That top hinge is adjustable, so it don't really matter. It ain't gotta be exactly perfect. All right, so we got this gate hung and level. We got this gate set up on some blocks. We got it pretty close. I'm not gonna bore y'all with having to watch hang this gate. It's the same thing as this side, except over here. So let's knock it out. A set of gates like this might not mean much to y'all, but little things like this just makes me feel so accomplished, and I don't know, just a good feeling. I sure like the way they turned out. They look pretty good for just an old set of barn gates. yesterday evening when I got done hanging the gates and tending to a few more things that I needed to, I was able to spend a few hours and work right here. Now, as y'all can see, we got all the bushes and stuff out of our way now. We just need to go in there. There's a few little limbs and little stuff. Cut all that stuff out of the way. And then we're gonna start hauling some dirt in here, get a good foundation. As you can tell, I got a dirt pad built, which is good. It gives me a little time to let it settle and let it firm up before we start our project here. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is just yet, but it will be coming up in the next video or two. I apologize deeply for not being able to have it in this video like I promised y'all. It's just sometimes life just throws kinks in our plans, and sometimes they're out of our control. And this week it's just been out of my control. So again, terribly sorry for that, but it is coming, and I do think y'all are going to enjoy it. So definitely make sure to stick around for that. Well, even with a busy schedule, you still have to find time to eat. And that's one thing that I love to do, and y'all know that very well. I love to cook. We're gonna get started on a good old deer chili this evening underneath the barn. So let's get right into it. Now that we got our pot heating up, I know I said it's a deer chili, but as most of you probably know, deer meat is extremely dry. So I always start out with 1 pound of breakfast sausage. The breakfast sausage will give you the grease or the oil in the bottom of your pot that you need to keep anything from sticking and to really give you a good flavor. How many other people can relate with them good old trash bags? Feed bags are the best trash bag. So now that we got our breakfast sausage browned down pretty good and got some grease in the bottom, we're gonna go on in with our ground deer meat. This is roughly probably 2 pounds of ground deer meat. So now that we got all of our ground meat good and browned down, we're gonna go in with some freshly bought vegetables. Yes, I'm cheating. Yes, I normally cheat. Yes, fresh cut up vegetables are better, but these are just good too. We're gonna go in with 1 whole bag of this seasoning blend. And in the feed bag it goes. Oh, if y'all could just smell the vegetables that I just put in that pot. Oh, I could eat it just like that. It smells so good. Now we're gonna let them vegetables brown down for a good 20, 30 minutes, somewhere in that time frame. You wanna make sure they're good and soft. And about the 15-minute mark, we're gonna go in with about, I don't know, a tablespoon or two of this minced garlic. Me personally, you can't have too much minced garlic. Love garlic. Now, as always, this is just the way that I do it. This is by no means telling y'all this is how you have to do it. This is just how I do it. And if you want to do things different, do it your own way. By all means, have at it, have fun. I mean, you may do something that you like, that makes you like it 10 times better. And that's great. That's what it's all about, is having fun and learning new things. Food is smelling so good, it's even brung the horses up. I think he wants this instead of his feed for supper. Now it's been about 20 minutes or so with these vegetables. We're gonna go in with about that much. That's a little bit more than I was expecting, but hey, like I said, can't get too much garlic. Now we don't want to brown our garlic down for very long, so I say maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, preferably about 5 minutes. And then something I like to do that most of y'all probably do not do, I always dump my Rotels in before I dump anything else in. I dump in 1 can, in this case, original mild Rotels. I like to brown or sear them, if you will. In my mind, I see them being in this pot and kind of crisping up, and whenever you start adding the juice, they'll kind of hold together a little better. That's just me thinking. I could be 100% wrong. That's just the way I do it, and it always seems to work out pretty good for me. And we'll cook them down for about 10 minutes or so, I guess, about like the garlic. Now, normally whenever I add my vegetables in for my chili, I always add in about 2 or 3 good fresh jalapenos. Didn't have none this time. I am just strictly using what I had in my pantry, so we are just gonna go without them this time, but it'll still be okay. Now that I've got my Rotels the way I want them, I'm gonna go in with 1 can of stewed tomatoes and 1 can of whole peeled tomatoes. Now we're gonna give that a good mix. Now normally at this point, I would add 2 cans of tomato sauce. I've only got 1, so that's all we're gonna use. Now I just put some regular water in this can. Give this can a good rinse. Feed sack. So you may have noticed that by this point that I haven't added any seasoning to this chili. And the reason for that is because I forgot to do it earlier. So we're gonna go in with some black pepper, some Cajun seasoning, and just some plain old table salt. Just a little bit of each for right now. The breakfast sausage that I put in at the beginning was a hot blend of breakfast sausage. So there's probably gonna be quite a bit of heat to it already. But here in South Louisiana, we like some spicy food. Now we're gonna reach down here, look at our flame. We're gonna crank this fire up and go in with about that much water. So this is what it looks like for me. I'm gonna bring this to a slight boil, put the lid on, turn the fire down, and let it simmer for about an hour or so. Now, in case y'all can't tell, I don't measure anything in precise numbers. Everything I do is just by the heart. I just measure with my eyeballs, as they say. So I can't really give y'all any exact measurements on anything I do. You just have to be your own judge and hope for the best, I guess. Well, it's at a good boil. We're gonna put our lid on and lower our fire to a simmer and let her cook for a while. Looking pretty good if you ask me. Let's just go in with the final touches now. Now the thing about a tomato-based gravy, chili, anything that's tomato-based, it's always really acidic and can kind of strong. So this little bit of sugar that I have in here is all you really need to really just knock that edge off. It's a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half, I would imagine, of pure sugar. So let's dump that in there now. Now I put the lid back on. We're gonna let that sugar and that chili powder cook in for about 20 minutes and then we'll come back and check it. Well, it's been about 20 minutes and we just killed the fire on the chili. It looks good, smells good, and I'm betting it tastes good. Well, and that's a wrap on the chili. You can serve it over rice, hot dog buns, Fritos, anything your heart desires. And I believe that's gonna wrap up this video. I've got some thinking to do if I'm gonna go rope. If so, I got some packing to do. I've got to get the trailer ready. So I'm gonna get started on that. Y'all tune in Tuesday to see which decision I make. And if I do go, y'all wish me some good luck because I sure am gonna need it. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like and comment. And y'all stay safe and we'll see y'all Tuesday.